Well, as I said early in the year, I really felt it was going to take 6 to 8 games in the league to try to figure out where everybody was because of the bizarre scheduling. And I haven't changed my mind on that, nor have I changed it on how good the league is. It was good to be able to bounce back and actually play very well. A large percentage of that game against Wisconsin. Got a couple of days to prepare again for ourselves this week. We've had some good practices, and that's been really good. And I think we're getting a little better play out of Gabe, a little better play out of Aaron, a lot better play out of Rocket. And that's been a big positive. But the league right now is so good, and yet we're still in a place where some teams have played 4 or 5 home games, some teams have played 2 or 3 home games. So it's very hard for media, fans, even players to figure out where anybody's at right now. So I'm looking at this as kind of a separation week, one way or another. We're either going to win some games and separate ourselves, or we're going to lose some games and not separate ourselves. And I think that's going to give us a better indication. The home teams are 41-7, which is like ridiculous. And is it the parity? What's going on? What's going on with teams all over the country? I think it's the most confusing. They say that there's a ton of teams that could win it all. We have 12 teams in the top 50. When you have 12 teams in the top 50, that means you have 12 teams capable of getting to the NCAA tournament, and we're just going to beat the hell out of each other. And as far as Indiana goes, big, strong team. They're starting 6'11", 6'10". Smith, who was a power forward last year, is playing the 3 spot. They're rebounding the hell out of the ball. They have not shot the ball real well, but they are rebounding. Kind of reminds me of some of my early teams. And yet they have 4 players in double figures, so they have good balance, just nobody real big. Freshman, Trace Jackson, a kid we recruited hard, is averaging 14 and 8, is having a hell of a freshman year. I think he's one of the best freshmen in the league. Justin Smith is a guy that's a senior that has really played well, averaging 12 points and 5 rebounds. He's good defensively. He's a great offensive rebounder. Joey Brunk, the transfer, at 6'11", he's scoring 8-9 points and getting 7-8 rebounds. So they got a lot of guys between that 12 and 7 range as far as points, and a lot of guys in that 6, 7, 8 range as far as rebounds. The guys that have killed us, Devontae Green and Durham, the last couple of years, are still guys that are in double figures, probably 2 of their best shooters. And this is one of the better teams in the country, getting to the free throw line 26 times a game. So they're getting a lot of dribble penetration with their guards. I think guys are helping. I think that's why they become, besides being real big, become a good offensive rebounding team. When you drive the ball like that, you also get fouled more. When you get offensive rebounds, you get fouled more. And so we're going to have to do the job in transition. We have to do the job rebounding the ball and defending without fouling. So topsy-turvy, man, as far as, I don't know if you guys have any idea where all the teams are in the league. I sure as hell don't, but I think it's going to, get a little, after this week, you'll get a little bit of a better idea, not about Michigan State, really about the whole conference, if you ask me.
Sounds like you guys are going straight from Indiana to Minnesota over the weekend. What can that do for a team as far as, chemistry, cohesion, spending that much time?
Yeah, it's a pretty close team. I'll be honest with you, some of it has to do with Cash. We're just trying to get him, it's been a tough couple of games for him, and of no surprise. Immediately know and maybe just getting away from some of the stuff and try to get out of the limelight and just kind of be one of the fellas, as Irvin Johnson used to say. That was one of the reasons. The other one was the quick turnaround. We felt like we'd be spending a lot of time in the plane. The third one was, we're missing very few classes on Friday, Friday's a day. So it all worked out where we thought, you know, team time, get guys away where it's just us and them, you know, they're hearing and seeing so many things and everybody, we just thought it would be the right situation. You don't get many of these opportunities, so we are going from Indiana right up to Minnesota. We'll practice up there at the Timberwolves place, I think, or at the U. You know, trying to do a little something Friday with the team, and I think it's going to work out well. As you know, if you win the game, it was probably one of the greatest decisions in the history of mankind. And if you lose the game, I'll be the dumbest SOB in the history of mankind. So it's going to be feast or famine. But for me, win or lose, I think it was the right decision. My staff brought it up to me. I thought